Hey, anybody got any hot sauce for these fucking crayons? Dying over here.
So, and that's when I was like, they have to be your pants. You get it? Godwin?
Kinda.
But speaking of pants,
that one kind of I get it. It's got to be your pants, but it kind of fell short. I guess I don't know. That was a rough one. That was
because they're your pants.
Yeah, I get they're my pants. Yeah. So, it's funny. Funny thing. Today I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I don't even know how we got on the subject. She started going off about, because she's Latino. She's from Mexico. Her family's from Mexico, and she was talking about the whole witches are like humanoid owls down there, apparently. So she told me a story about like her mother or her mother's friend, like they found this creature out in the woods and it was an owl shape and it was up in a tree and they knocked it down. By the time it hit the ground, it was a woman. And I was like, well, that's pretty far-fetched, you know what I mean?
Might even call that a urban legend.
Last week we discussed folklore. Today we get more specific. This is what we call an urban legend. Contemporary folklore passed on as a true story. Voila, still alive. Mr. Brooks, please.
He's gonna explode! Somebody call 911!
They are the legends we've all heard.
And when someone goes to flash from their hydrants to warn them, they kill him.
The stories we've all told.
It's her dead boyfriend hung from a tree.
The tales we've all listened to. But just because it never happened doesn't mean it never will.
Maybe she's...
Urban legend?
Urban legend.
Down the old Jarhead basement.
Basements.
Talking
Plural?
today about basements plural. I mean the title's just Jarhead basement, but so yes, there's two basements, but
we like to pretend we're in one.
As a combined entity, yes, we like to it's one combined mental aspect.
1 + 1 = 2.
7.
1 = 7. You got any more of those green crayons? Those are my favorites.
I'm a brown fan because they kind of taste like gravy, but you gotta dip them in stuff. So anyway, obviously,
Hey, what movie are we talking about tonight?
Well, we're talking about Urban Legend from 1998. Released
Star Pictures. Yeah.
Released September 25th. 1998. Not a lot going on in September of 98. I looked at what was released that weekend. There wasn't a lot of shit going on.
So, Urban Legend.
Urban Legend.
What's this movie about?
Well, basically, it's riding off the coattails of the popular Scream that came out.
Okay.
Was that 2 years before? 96?
Yep.
96. So it's group of college kids. It's a slasher film. Shit's happening, but the murders are based off of old school urban legends.
There's your hook.
And actually, for it being the director, not a big name guy, Jamie Blanks.
Yeah, did he do Valentine, right?
Yeah, he did Valentine, and then but like currently isn't, even as of right now, which is 2020, which is a horseshit year, by the way.
Yeah,
he's only got like 6 titles under his belt, which this one was one of his firsts.
Well, that to me says he picks a good movie. He's going for quality, not quantity.
But no, the cast is actually pretty good. We got Joshua Jackson, who was big in the late 90s.
Yeah, a little pacey action.
Which comes back later. Let's just get it out of the way. Well, we'll talk a little bit about some just general shit at first, and then we'll get into spoilers here. We'll put a warning up.
Yeah.
Once we're getting into spoiler territory.
You worrisome people out there. We'll make sure you know before we ruin the movie.
I mean, in all reality, it was 1998. If you haven't seen Urban Legend by now, you probably not gonna see it. The only reason I picked it and we watched it was because it was on the IMDb free with ads on Amazon Prime.
And ads for you young people are commercials.
Yes, that's exactly what commercials used to be.
Abnormal psychology. You know, if you want to tell the story right.
Yeah. Jared Leto, probably the biggest name on the list.
Jared Leto at that time?
Not at that time. I'm talking 2020. Oh, probably the biggest name on the list.
Yeah, because any one of these other characters ain't doing like shit right now.
But maybe at the time, middle of the road at best for this cast.
Well, yeah, because I can't remember now. Was Requiem for a Dream before this movie?
I don't know. That movie is just fucked. Like,
well, it is, but they actually got pretty good acclaims for that movie, even though it was pretty rugged.
Oh, agreed. It was rough. That's a rough movie to watch, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So who's your next cast member? We'll do a little
we got Alicia Witt from.
It's like someone out there is taking all these stories and making them reality.
Total 90s. She was Sybil Shepherd's daughter on the Sybil series from the 90s. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, because that's something I watched.
Well, my parents watched a lot of CBS, and it just happened to be one of those series.
See, this goes into our conversation about how horrible your upbringing must have been. Sometimes no TV is a better option.
Sometimes,
what about a Miss Danielle Harris? This is her first movie as an adult. Did you know that?
Yeah, because before this, it was that bullshit movie Wish Upon a Star, wasn't it, with her and Katherine Heigl?
Well, like literally before it. Her biggest credit before this would have been Halloween 4 and 5.
Right, which is an awesome thing, which is cool about this being just this first-time director, this small-time director. You actually have 3 prior slasher characters.
You could argue 4 if you consider her.
No, well, it's just Robert Englund, Brad Dourif, and her, right?
Fair enough. You win this round.
I don't know.
Math is hard. I failed the Math for Marines MCI. So,
even though we both worked pay, we got Michael Rosenbaum here.
Rosenbaum.
But fine, abnormal psych it is. Anywho.
Who
I was a lot of people probably remember from Smallville. He played Lex Luthor.
That's
probably one of the most current ones.
I would say that is his biggest role, but he also was in Curse and your favorite movie, Sorority Boys.
Well, I wouldn't say my favorite movie, but hey, that's got a place in my heart. Barry Watson, he was pretty good in that. But anyway, we're getting off topic again.
You know who has a place in my heart?
What?
You want to know who has a place in my heart?
Who's that?
Botched boob job, Tara Reid.
Oh yeah, she's in this too.
I mean, I didn't. Had yourself a little frat boy protein shake, did ya? Sasha.
Yep, she's in this. And, this is pre-TMZ Tara Reid. So...
Which is funny, though, because we played the trailer earlier. And there are scenes from her that are, like, grotesquely sexual that aren't even in the movie. So they were really trying to sell the fact.
Yeah. What's her character name again? Sasha?
Yeah, that Tara Reid was in this and was going to be
basically could have been the nympho, right? Like
well, it's got like that radio show on the movie that's like under the covers or under the sheets or. She's got the sheets or something.
Yeah, whatever. Between the sheets?
Yeah, or under the cover or something.
I don't know. I failed Math for Marines. Did I tell you that? So, and then to round out the cast, Rebbeca Gayheart.
Yes, Rebbeca Gayheart, yeah.
You guys, what if there is a lunatic on campus?
She was a model at first, right?
Was that?
She was a model at first?
Yeah. And I think arguably at that time may have been the biggest star on the cast.
No, I still think you got to give that to Joshua Jackson. Even though his role in the movie is actually small.
That's true. Let's leave it up to the viewers. Let's say, let us know below who was the bigger star in 1998, Joshua Jackson or Rebbeca Gayheart.
For those of you that were like within coherent thought in 98.
Yeah, look, if you were born in 96, I don't really, your opinion matters. It matters. It just doesn't matter in this conversation.
Your opinion matters now, but
yeah, right. Yes.
But
so
not in 1998.
Go back and watch all media between 92 and 98, and then you can have an opinion. Yeah, so that's the cast.
That's the cast. We start off. The first one I thought was good. It was the old school urban legend of killers in the back seat. The gas station attendant, who is played by Brad Dourif, who is, if people don't know and are unfamiliar with, is the voice of Chucky, or the serial killer that possessed Chucky. Not new AI Child's Play 2019. We're talking the original Child's Play.
The equally bad in a different way, Chucky.
Yes, but had a better premise. It wasn't just an AI software fucking problem. It was...
You know what they should have done for the new Chucky? They should have just called Will Smith in. He hates robots. I think I watched a documentary about how much he hates robots.
Like as bad as like John Connor?
Yeah. Like I think the documentary was called I, Robot. And man, that guy hates robots.
Yeah, like straight up racist even. Like
yeah. Maybe.
Oh, would you call it racist or
robotist?
Bionist?
Some kind of ist. It's an ist.
It's an ist.
I don't know which ist it is, but it is one.
But that first scene though is that I really like that one. Brad Dourif, especially because it's Brad Dourif. He played that part of that attendee like perfectly.
He did, and what I remember most about this scene was, he's the first person to see the killer, and arguably could have prevented the entirety of the rest of the movie had he not had his just life ruined that night. So he tries to tell this young lady that, hey, there's someone in your car, and he's pretty slick about it. He's like, hey, come on, just, hey, your credit card got declined, come inside real quick. And then she was being aware of her surroundings.
Being astute. I mean, if you were that young of a lady too in that situation, you'd be pretty taken aback by that.
Yeah, taken aback by the guy with the speech impediment.
Yeah, but in the middle of a dark place.
All right, maybe a little bit, but she pepper sprays him, ruins his business, destroys his business, and then takes off, leaving him holding the bag. And had he not just took off at this point, maybe we could have not had to watch this movie.
Or if he just would have took off at that point too, we wouldn't have to hear later that poor guy's life was ruined.
Fair enough, but
let's get the fuck out of there, Brad.
There's a guy in your
You know she's probably gonna die anyway, and you're gonna be probably the number one fucking suspect for this. So why not just scoot into the woods there, Brad?
Yeah,
go find a doll and get in the woods.
Little situational awareness there, buddy. Let's make sure we're covering our, a little CYA.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny though is when she gets out to do the thing there and she hits her car alarm. I was like, holy fuck, R2D2 died and came back as fucking car alarms. And apparently, her and the dean shop at the same car place because later on in the movie, the dean has the same fucking car.
Is it really?
Yes.
I did not even catch that. That's
God,
hilarious.
yeah. It was like right away. It's like they hit the button. It's like fucking, beep, 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 and it was like, I'm like, what the fuck is R2D2 doing?
So we get through the gas attendant scene, and obviously the poor young woman is the first victim to fall to our slasher. We basically go into meeting our cast, who's essentially sitting at the Friends coffee shop. At least that's what it looks like.
Well, it's funny how all the scenes they show, they get the same fucking seats all the time.
Exactly.
Just like Friends.
Just like Friends, and it's so aggravating because anybody who's ever been to a Starbucks knows you cannot get up for more than a second without somebody stealing your seat.
Well, which is funny too, because they're all sitting in the same spot too. It's not like, so it's always Michael Rosenbaum and Tara Reid are always sitting on that one couch.
Well, yeah, because they're
Alicia Witt. I think Alicia Witt changes seats once, but it's like, well, what if the other guys showed up there first? Can't they sit on that fucking couch? No, that's
their seat
and the frat boys. But yeah, that was kind of comical.
And then just like insult to injury to the 90s theme, we get Paul who walks in, and then he's
who's played by Jared Leto.
Yes, Jared Leto's character, and
who's a journalist for the
university paper there. What this guy thinks he's writing for Spotlight, right? Like, what are you doing?
He's uncovering Catholic rapists.
Yeah, exactly.
Child rapists.
In the middle of his conversation, his fucking beeper goes off, and it just nostalgia dopamine drip hit him super hard. And I remember carrying my little beeper, and I was a douchebag, and so was Paul in this scene for that douchey pager. Oh, it's the paper. I have to go. And I say this with love. To be honest, I actually like this movie.
Oh yeah, it don't get us wrong. We're not. It is an entertaining movie, and we're gonna get to that point. But there's things
throughout this whole scene. My biggest argument with it is, I feel like a wet blanket could have done a better acting job than Miss Alicia Witt in this role. Already, you've met her for not even 5 minutes, and I just feel like she's bland at best. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like you look at nowadays, like you got like the Zoe Deschanel, dishwasher,
new girl.
Yeah, but she's had movies too where she had that wet blanket, but that was her character. She played that part.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's the character in this one. I just feel like it's just bad acting, in my opinion.
No, and I can see that.
It's not like I'm an actor, but
No, neither am I.
My armchair quarterbacking of her performance says that she was horrible.
Oh yeah, but she didn't really have much of an acting career in general besides Sybil, and wasn't she in Vanilla Sky for a bit?
Yeah, that was, I think, her next big movie after this would have been Vanilla Sky.
She wasn't. I've never Here's a spoiler alert. I've never seen Vanilla Sky all the way through.
Here's a piece of trivia. Did you know that Miss Melissa Joan Hart and Miss Reese Witherspoon almost played the part of Natalie instead of Alicia Witt? Can you think about how different this movie would have been had either one of them took that part?
Reese Witherspoon was she was great in Fear with Mark Wahlberg.
Right, and this would have been coming almost right on the heels of that, right? Yeah. And Melissa Joan Hart at that time was more so known for Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which was, I think that was on TGIF, Friday night family lineup. So for her to do a movie like this would have been a pretty risky move, I think, which is probably why she ended up not. But to me, that's just how crazy would have been had either one of those people took this role, and how different that would have made this movie feel.
Right.
So.
Oh no, I hear you. No, yeah, with Alicia Witt, yeah, like I said, it's late 90s. Any of these were really like big stars at this time. You found out that Sarah Michelle Gellar was actually supposed to play Sasha.
Right.
But
so then she would have been in all three: Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and
Sarah Michelle Gellar wasn't in Scream. You all right over there? Did you hit your head hard?
I failed Mass for Marines. Did I tell you that?
No, she was in I Know What You Did Last Summer. What was funny, I thought I chuckled actually. I chuckled out loud actually when Damon was picked up Alicia Wet Blanket to go try to seduce her in the woods. And he's just gonna start his car and the fucking Dawson's Creek theme starts playing.
I don't wanna wait.
He's like, ah, and he hits the radio and like it shuts it off. I was like, that was golden. That was priceless.
That was a super meta moment, and I think that is something that this movie did well. It was kind of self-aware of how cheesy some of the stuff was. Yeah. And that was a great moment of that where
you had dial-up internet, you had chat rooms trying to hook up on college.
Hey, you don't knock the heat, all right? I was the I am failure because I was bad at it.
Like Math for Marines. Touche, brethren.
I have nothing to say about that.
Since we were talking about Scream earlier, you brought up about the scene where what's his name? It's kind of like that part from Scream where it's.
Oh yeah, so after Damon's death.
Was it Matthew Lillard or Jamie Kennedy? But it's like the same concept, basically.
Yeah, it was Jamie Kennedy's scene where they're at the party and he stands up and he starts going like, he's going over the rules of how to survive the horror movie, and like the camera angle and everything for Rosenbaum's like speech here, or I guess you could call it a monologue, but I don't know if it was a monologue. But it was like almost identical in the way it was shot and the way the camera moved. And it was just such a total ripoff of like Friends meets Scream. So.
Yeah, and I picked up on that too, yeah, because I was like, he's basically just doing Jamie Kennedy's scene.
Yeah.
Speaking of like, now this is a big thing that happens a lot. Terminator 2 did it. Another Terminator Genesis did it. But if you want, like we showed the trailer earlier, they build up that scene with Joshua Jackson dying from the pop rock so bad in the movie, and when I was watching, I was like, well, why'd you do that? You spoiled it in the trailer.
Yeah.
You showed that he was just fucking with everybody. So they still play the scene out in the movie like it's like life or death for Joshua Jackson. I'm like,
right. And to me, and I don't know how
trailer.
Right. And the whole time I'm watching it, I want somebody to fucking die in that scene. Like, and I don't know how they justify it, but
they should have cut right away from him just being on the floor and then not show him open his eyes back up and look around like a douche, like a blonde-haired Joshua Jackson trying to be Eminem.
Look, man, that was the style back then. I may or may not.
I did it once back when I was in high school.
You did it once. I had like full-on bleach blonde hair. Oh my God, it was so bad. And why did nobody stop me?
Nobody stopped any of us.
My senior year, I had frosted tips. I looked like a rejected NSYNC character, and rejected by like I wasn't even let in the building for the audition. But yeah, so that scene was and all the Damon's death scene I had massive issues with because we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it later.
Well, we're getting to that because that's the part right there. That's the part where Damon shows up to pick her up, and they're going to go to this frat party where or they're just gonna go drive around because apparently she needs a friend or something.
Well, really, he's just trying to, wet his willy.
Well, yeah. So in that scene, which was another point of mine, was that I thought was ultimately hilarious, was you just tried seducing this woman in your car, and you have to walk 50 fucking yards away to take a piss.
She already rejected his wee once.
Well, maybe he was hoping that it was going to be dark enough where she wouldn't see it in the car. He's like, well, now that she rejected me, I got to really go far away because what if she sees me pissing right behind the car?
I feel like the logic is flawed there because, last ditch effort. Maybe you let her see it, but then I don't know. Maybe Me Too movement starts 10
just
years.
Slam it right on the trunk of the car and just get it over.
Yeah. Maybe that Me Too movement starts way earlier than it did. But you know what it is?
What?
Hidden Valley. So anyway.
Shut up.
So then we go to Wexler's office.
Something I can help you with.
I don't know if this is true or not. And
was that before or after stereotypical goth chick?
So this is decidedly after the first encounter with Miss Danielle Harris, who I just love. She's one of my favorite scream queens. But she's really good. I think she was underused kind of in this. 100% underused.
Tosh, do you mind if I use what? Never mind.
But when Alicia Wet Blanket and Jared, now I'm the only person in 30 Seconds to Mars, Leto.
How are you gonna kick your own brother out, man?
It's a stretch.
No, that's it. That's the only ones that are now. It's just him and his brother. It's just him and Shannon in 30 Seconds to Mars. So there's no like guitars or anything anymore because they kicked everybody out. But
that's why they're so good now, right?
Right.
Define good. Anyway, Danielle Harris getting butt banged and Blanket walks in.
She died before they went and investigated Wexler's office, right?
Let's see.
Well, and we should probably clarify. There's this underlying theme in the movie about this massacre at this hall, this dorm area that did or did not happen.
Well, this ties into the Rosenbaum How to Survive a Slasher, because in that scene previously, he's talking about how he went from door to door and he slashed their throats.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why are you putting this in the middle of the film randomly? And
so it's actually an urban legend that pertains just to this smallest, safest college in the country.
Isn't that their slogan?
Yeah, they were labeled the safest campus in the country.
But every shot I saw of the school looked like it was literally 3 buildings. And then when they went on the inside of the school, it looked like it was fucking Hogwarts. Like the Gothic design of the schools was
like Victorian shit.
Yeah, it was just I was waiting for the fat lady in the painting to start singing somewhere and the staircases to start moving.
What? It was you only get probably 3 or 4 exterior shots. It's always that fucking courtyard in front of that hall where all this massacre happened. I think you get 1 shot outside the dorm, right? When Bruce Willis's last Boy Scout daughter dies.
Danielle Harris?
Yeah, that one. And
she has a name. She has a name. Say it out. I want to hear you say it.
Her name was Robert Paulson.
Fantastic. So another thing to go back.
So that's all you okay. So but they don't give any aerial shots of the whole college. It's just
right.
So you don't get the grasp of how grand or big this place is. It's just the dean always saying and that's where the Jaws kind of theme comes in. Is like how Jaws was. We can't shut the beaches down because there's blah blah blah. So then
there is one part where
the dean is like, well, we got to keep these murders, or they're not even murders. You
got to keep them under wraps.
because we're the safest college in the country. The safest.
Yeah.
With the
Well, and I was
college
remembering
in
as
the
literally as
country.
we're
Shouldn't there be more security around here?
yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was an off week. Maybe the other 3 guys or girls took vacation. But Paul, at one point, talks about how they have a circulation of 3,500 students.
Yeah, that's pretty good size.
Yeah, but it doesn't reflect that in the exterior shots. Is what I'm getting.
No.
Because it's like 3 buildings.
The typical dark library scene. So you get it in all these horror movies, especially nowadays too. They just keep redoing the same trope. There's a dark library. Somebody's in there looking for information. It's the poorest lit motherfucking library in the whole entire world. And she hears or someone goes by the camera. So, oh my God. And then she's calling out. And this goes back to the Tara Reid and the disgusting look I gave for Tara Reid earlier. Either her character is an absolute bitch because she didn't answer when Alicia Wet Blanket was like, hello. And all of a sudden it's a jump scare and it's just whore Tara Reid. Look I found Kama Sutra.
Yeah. So I think I figured this out. I was thinking about this earlier today. There's a whole subgenre of videos that I can send you a link for of people doing things in libraries, man. So I think I know what Tara Reid was doing in that library. I was waiting for the library stacks to fall or literally anything and I almost feel like the library stack kill would have been justified there, or even a library stack near kill could have been good.
Well, but see, that wouldn't be an urban legend. That would be a horror movie trope.
Really? Have you ever actually seen that done?
Well, I've seen the library thing fall, or the bookcases fall in movies, but I don't know if anybody died from it.
Maybe that's an urban legend. See what I did there?
Could be. Touche. All right, so we gotta talk about the bitchy girl because that's her character name, Angela Vent.
Angela Vent, who
she's there for about like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and honestly steals the scene. I mean, let's be real.
But she was pretty fucking harsh. She
was pretty fucking harsh.
Like Danielle Harris just died, and they're wheeling her out. They got her covered up, which apparently she's still bleeding out of her gaping wrist.
Yeah, so she slits her wrist in the movie, right? And
Well, the killer slits her wrist.
Well,
yeah.
Fair. Or did it?
Oh.
Did the killer? Huh? Because, I'm pretty sure science would say that if you slit your wrists, you still have time to write, aren't you glad you didn't turn on the lights? Walk around your bed, fall on it, and then cover yourself completely before dying.
And why would she her and Natalie, who is Alicia Wet Blanket's character, why would she give a shit enough they hated each other? They never had any interaction besides I walked in and you were having sex, and then I walked in and I tried to use the phone and you got pissed off because it was your phone line too. So why would she give a shit? Why would she give a shit enough to cut her wrists, get up, and fucking write a message to this cunt? Can I say cunt on YouTube?
I think you can say whatever you want on YouTube. They just might demonetize it.
Well, I think we're past that point.
Yeah, so no money for us.
This one.
I'm going to say it's going to be hard for us to make any money. But
no.
Hey, you know what I've always wanted to do?
What?
Pierce my dog's nose. Okay.
That was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in a movie, actually.
What about the sirens?
She's already dead. And when the siren or the ambulance is leaving the scene, they have the sirens on. It was just one of those things that I just noticed that was like an error. I'm like, did anybody like read a book or just like see like ambulance protocol for like when someone's declared dead on the scene? You don't turn the sirens on. But that was just a small little blip. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't a make or break situation. It's just something I noticed out of the corner of my ear. I'm like, Why are the sirens on the ambulance?
Did you say something you noticed as a corner of your ear?
Yeah, corner of my ear.
Okay, just checking. Yep. So then the next scene shows I guess it'd be our protagonist, kind of losing her shit because she's gonna go tell her friend about how sad she is that her roommate killed herself that she didn't even like in the first place. This is Rebbeca Gayheart's character, and she's in the swimming pool swimming laps. And I was completely expecting, like, do you remember the urban legend about, like, don't sit on the drain because it'll, like,
what?
Because it'll, like, suck your insides out?
Oh, yeah.
And that might not be an urban legend. I don't know. But
where do you go from urban legend to, like, wives' tale?
Isn't it, like, one and the same, though?
It kind of. But there was one of them things that I think parents just told kids just to have them
stop screwing with stuff. Don't put your dick in there.
Yeah, I know it feels good, but quit it.
Yeah. In the original script for the movie, it was going to be set in like a winter setting. So at that point, like the parka jacket, isn't that what that jacket's called? Like a parka jacket?
Well, yeah. I mean,
but
so then I also thought, I'm like, okay, because here's another thing that I thought was just ridiculous. The janitor, who's the creepy guy, who we try pinning shit on later in the movie, or actually we don't try pinning on. She has a second guess of maybe this guy's the killer. But he's got the jacket. Robert Englund's got the jacket. This chick in the swimming pool's got the jacket.
This young human.
This young human woman. Or maybe not a woman.
Yeah, again, just human.
And the killer has the same exact jacket. It's 4 people.
Yeah, I think that's right. So
how popular is this jacket that 4 out of the and we're not talking about the other 3,463 people that we haven't met on campus.
Is that math right? Yeah.
So that's a pretty good statistic that this jacket's pretty fucking popular.
Yeah, well, maybe there was a sale at the jacket store
that we get to know in this movie have the same fucking jacket.
Or maybe the college mascot is an Eskimo. Did you think about that?
Well, it is Canada.
Yeah, but I think it's supposed to be New England, right?
Oh, it's not supposed to be Canada?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's New England. Because during the weather report, we're gonna get
that one pointless scene with the weather forecaster. Yeah, that one. Had the runtime.
I think they say New England, 100%.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. So before the rain comes, we get our final scene with the Dean. And do we know his name, or is it literally the Dean?
I think it's Dean. I think it's just he's the Dean, and his name is Dean or Richard, because he looks like he might know his way around a Richard.
Yeah, he looks like a dick.
But he's the dumbest fucking character.
Is he? Because he checks his backseat
twice.
Right.
He's talking to the security guard, and he's standing in the same fucking spot. Who would have snuck in your back seat in the fucking 2 minutes you were talking to this? It probably wasn't even 2 minutes. And his stupid fucking look on his face, checks again. He looks and he goes, like, oh, it was silly of me to check again. Like everybody at this college is fucking hung up on urban legends that they're that fucking stupid.
He looks and he's like, "Oh, you silly bitch, let's go."
Dean. How do you run an entire university?
So I will say this is one of my favorite slasher moments, though, in the whole movie, when the killer cuts his Achilles tendon.
Well, it is because it brings us back to that makes both me and you cringe, which is Pet Sematary.
To this day, will not watch that movie.
Yeah, that was brutal. And Achilles tendon is like, I mean, even if we know from like doing McMap in the Marine Corps. I don't know if you remember when we were down in Kansas City. I actually got mine damaged from doing McMap from the leg sweep, and that was painful. Not to mention if that fucker was cut.
I will say, as you can see, it's been a while since I've done much exercise. But as I've gotten older, my Achilles, like I have to literally...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I got fat. I have to literally stretch them like daily, or they feel like they're like seizing up on me. So the fact I can't even think about what it would feel like to have it cut or sprained or whatever. I don't.
But the part that was really stupid about that scene, besides the checking in the back seat twice and him telling Cigarette, "Don't call anybody, tell the police department," you know, that was came up later that the police. Jared Leto says that the police don't believe me because they were told by the dean, who's obviously a fucking genius, that there was probably going to be a bunch of crank or prank calls that night. And so they don't even believe him that there's this killer out.
But it's kind of great forethought on the dean's part, though. Like, if you don't want this information to get out, that was a smart move.
Well, it was a smart move that way.
It just so happened that he
for the safety of his fucking students.
Oh, 100%. That's not the conversation I'm having. I'm saying, if you don't want people to know that you are hiding a murderer on campus, you make sure people think that any phone calls you're going to get are prank calls. So,
oh, no, I get that. So what kind of fucking parking lot is this, or parking ramp, or parking structure where the killer just has to reach in and put the car in neutral? Like, yeah. So you're not parked on a flat surface? I mean, that is the unsafest thing to begin with.
Yeah, and his tires were not at an angle to ensure that it went, into a curb or a wall. No.
Oh, right.
His tires were pointed perfectly so that it would run him down as he tried to crawl away in a straight line from his car. Only...
And like the spikes were already up. So like, how did he plan on leaving the garage anyway? Because
in the first place, yeah.
Are you just gonna blow out all 4 of your tires, or?
And I don't know.
You don't see the killer.
Bad, forethought on.
Oh right, like you don't see the killer go actually like flip a switch or do anything to like ensure that the spikes are up. They're just already there.
No, he literally just casually is strolling along beside the car.
And this is why I'm saying the dean is a fucking idiot. Is so you head towards and you just like, oh my god, I'm out of options, and you just lay on the spikes.
he just takes it. So, and I don't know if the movie came out before, after, or during, but that scene in the Austin Powers movie where he's in the steamroller and the security guard's going, "Stop!"
Oh yeah,
stop! And the whole time that this scene's happening, we have a adjacent scene. Where we enter the frat party and he's literally shoving a funnel down his dog's throat.
And it's not even like a badass dog. Like when Pacey was talking about it earlier, I thought that like he's like, oh, we're gonna pierce this dog's nose. I'm like, all right, it's gonna be like a bulldog from like Van Wilder, or it's gonna be like a
badass pit bull or something,
Yeah, something not. It's like a fucking Shih Tzu or a Scottish Terrier. It's not even like.
Did you make a fucking vampire Pomeranian? Ryan Reynolds he's just a national treasure.
He is, and he's from Canada. But he's
I didn't say it was our national treasure.
He's our national
somebody's
treasure,
national treasure.
So this nerd dude, and I don't even know what the hell his name is, or the actor, but
we're just gonna call him Nerdy Guy.
I guess, yeah, because like that's literally what I wrote down in my notes was nerd in all caps with like 3 exclamation points.
Let me see. I'm gonna fact check this. Hold on.
Fact check my notes.
I am. It's right here, and I'm gonna make sure they know he did do that. He wrote nerd. Look, Joe Rogan fact checks. I can fact check too.
But no, so.
Hey, did I ever tell you?
So he like they're listening to this random song, and then the guy's like, "Well,
that is Roller Coaster of Love." Thank you very much. The Red Hot Chili Peppers did a cover of it for Beavis and Butthead, Do America. That was a blood-curdling scream because the girl died.
But that's what he says in the movie.
He
tells the bride of Chucky. He tells the bride of Chucky that that's what happened. It was actually from a 911.
She is dressed like the bride of Chucky.
Yeah, either they copied that off of her, or that or the other way around. When the hell did Bride of Chucky come up? Because she literally
either way,
dressed like fucking Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah, but either way, Jennifer Tilly definitely wore it better.
Oh yeah. So he tells her that the scream is from an actual 911 call where this woman is murdered, and I'm like, oh well, that's not going to come back up later. And sure as shit, it does.
And ironically, she's the one doing the screaming.
So then the nerd guy comes back up to Alicia Witt and is like, oh no, she's just acting.
Yeah, it was like a radio homage to the killings at Wexler Hall, or no, was it Wexler Hall, or so whatever hall where the urban legend murders happened. It's right about this time that we found out that the only living survivor of those was Professor Wexler.
Yes, Wexler. Once Sasha dies, and you had a point on that.
So, one, it was a very gratifying kill because, let's be honest, we all wanted Tara Reid to die in this movie. Like, there was other movies where she didn't bother me, but this one, she was just, her character was so annoying that she needed to go. And while I wanted to enjoy it, when we finally got there, I didn't get the money shot. You know, I didn't get the payoff. I wanted to see some blood and some gore. And that's one thing with 90s slashers that, look, I'm a child of the 80s, so I love my blood, my gore. And while, you know, the original Friday the 13th and Halloween's didn't have an abundance of it, they did have an abundance of boobies. And that was also missed here in a lot of the 90s movies.
Oh yeah, but see, you can just get glimpses of Tara Reid moaning and stuff through the trailer, though. You don't have to watch the movie because none of that stuff's in the movie. There's no.
Those were not the boobies I wanted to see.
No,
nor anyone else.
I thought it was funny that they're able to still hear her even though she's running through the entire fucking building.
Yeah. So what audio equipment does she have in 1988? Yeah, 98. Yeah.
That has that strong. Everybody, you know, and people be like, "Well, she's in a radio station." I'm like, yeah, but she still has to have. That's just transmitting the signal from the receiver,
right?
Not her.
Even more so,
she relay that shit through an elevator shaft.
Yeah, through a fucking elevator, and that. And I can't even get my cell phone to work now in an elevator. Yeah.
Well, we got some more exposition through like Jared Leto and his research and his findings. Play with the audience a little bit. Is Jared Leto? Isn't he? You know, there's a typical. We talked about this earlier. Yeah. They get to his room or whatever, and he's like, the phones are down, and then she's like kind of suspicious of him.
Goes and checks it, and he's like,
again, and like, oh yeah, the phones are down. And he's like, he comes like, "Fuck are you doing? I just told you that the phones were down. You don't trust me?"
I literally just told you this. Yeah.
So like, at part of me, I'm like, I thought it was gonna be just like this cliche thing, like she picks up the phone, they work, and it's like, oh, Jared Leto. But then they actually switched it, and I was like, okay, cool. It's not.
Yeah, they subverted it a bit. That was nice.
It's not so cliche.
So as they're running out, right? Like they're gonna run out, and they're running through the Back to the Future rain.
You can't get out right now, Doc. It's raining. Wait 5 seconds.
So they run in. Stop talking. Jesus. Fucking asshole. Now I gotta rewind my thoughts here. Give me a second. Before that, they run into Rebbeca Gayheart's character, which is what I was trying to get out.
Oh yeah.
Of my lips before before Doc Brown came back and told me that it's about my kids. So then they get in the Grand Wagoneer, right?
The DeLorean.
Yeah. And they're going back to, I don't know where they're even going, but they literally just drive to a gas station because, well, let's stop and see if the payphones work. And typical horror movie trope, the payphone's never going to work, but apparently he goes in and they discover that they're still friends, even though Natalie is stealing Paul away from her. How sad. But, you know, something smells funky in the car, and it's Freddy. Yeah, Robert Englund's hacked up, you know, Professor Wexler's hacked up body is in the back seat, pointing the finger to Paul, although we've already kind of subverted the fact that we didn't think it was him, right? Like,
but also too, like, he they do have that line when they're driving to the gas station that she's like, "Do you smell that?" And he's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking. I don't smell anything." To kind of even though they subverted our expectations, they're trying to still just be like
toy with our emotions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the girls discover Robert Englund in the back of the fucking Wagoneer, and that's where the Back to the Future 2 rain is. But anyway,
yeah, because it just stops when he gets out.
It just stops. The minute they get to that gas station, it's like neither one of these actresses wanted to get wet, so the rain just shuts off like automatically.
And again, this is another prime moment. It sounds perverted, and I don't mean for it to sound perverted, but like, if you're not gonna show boobies in a horror movie, show me the wet t-shirt contest. Right? Like, come on.
Why the hell?
Give me a reason to watch this movie. There's only one reason anybody has ever watched The Gift.
So Alicia, not wet t-shirt, goes taking off through the woods.
Rebecca Gayheart. Yep.
That one. And they're chased by Paul, Jared Leto, who they think is the killer.
Yeah. Angel face is coming for him.
Alicia, still not wet t-shirt, hooks up with the janitor, which we never really talked about the janitor.
So she gets to like a service road.
Yeah, and he's there and picks her up. But then she sees the same like we talked about earlier, the same fucking jacket in the back of his pickup or long whatever. And he's creepy just because he's the creepy janitor guy. He's just odd. So she starts suspecting him. She's like, "Let me on the side of the road." And he goes, "What's your problem?" Grabs her, and he's all like excessively like crazy. And you're like, "Holy shit, maybe he is fine." But then like the Wagoneer comes rolling up, and of course it's the thing from 2011 is driving him in the Wagoneer. So we're like, well, obviously it's not the creepy janitor. Well, then that gets run off the road. But also she makes it back to the hall and she sees a window that's lit up there. And you're like, ooh.
And before we go too far into this, let's talk about the hall here, because this is something I was thinking about. All the other buildings were like pretty immaculate. Wouldn't you agree? And you've just got this zombie building hanging out on your campus.
Like, why wasn't this place just fucking bulldozed down and rebuilt back? And
I think that goes into what you were saying about like the Jaws theory. If the school was really trying to keep this under wraps, wouldn't you have bulldozed that and put up, a memorial, like maybe not even a memorial, but like, a new lecture hall,
a new dorm or new dorm hall or something.
Yeah, something completely different. Or
so I mean, people that come tour the college, is that so far away from all the main buildings that no one ever sees it?
Well, no, because as she's running up, they have the obligatory like call boxes.
Well, yeah, so that's still in service. Well, it doesn't work,
and that's still in service. Then as the security guard's doing her. Right, and as the security guard's doing her tour of the campus, it's definitely on the route,
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like it's, the one that's hidden off in the woods that nobody knows even exists.
Yeah. So that was one of those things I couldn't answer with this movie. I'm like, well, why is this?
Yeah.
If you're trying to keep this thing hush hush as like you're the safest college in the fucking country. Why are you leaving this hall that has
this murder hall
legend or this myth with it that
right, and you can't tell me that every frat ever wouldn't be trying to take control of said hall and throw parties and have haunted houses and like reenact the murders.
Just boarded up. It's all just boarded up.
Yeah. This isn't a Kmart, in your hometown. This is
or an old Blockbuster.
Oh, that's sad.
I know.
I said this is a Blockbuster's probably where we got this movie from initially.
So we get the big reveal. Rebecca Gayheart.
It is Gayheart. Yeah.
Is the killer.
Yes.
Which I thought was ridiculous. Turns out we didn't actually talk about it.
Mixed emotions.
We didn't talk about it actually, but turns out that Alicia Witt and a friend of hers, which ends up being the girl that died in the first scene with Brad Dourif at the gas station attendee, knew each other in high school. They did an urban legend.
Arguably best friends.
But they did the urban legend thing about.
So the gang initiation was you would ride around town with your lights off.
And you wait for someone to flash you.
And somebody, a good Samaritan would, flash their lights saying, "Hey, your lights are off," right? and then you being a total Dickeldorf
gang
member will get behind them and then, you know, start like high-speed chase, flashing your lights at them like, oh, yeah. I never got the logic behind it, but I remember legitimately being terrified of it as a new driver.
Huh.
So there's that.
But anyway, so like Alicia Witt and her friend that was the victim of the first killing in the movie, do this one night and they run this guy off the road, and his name was David Evans.
What was his name?
His name was Robert Paulson. So the big reveal I thought was stupid because I'm like, oh my god, and it's not that the purpose behind it. Ends up that David Evans was the boyfriend or fiance of Rebecca Gayheart's character.
Yeah, and she's upset that
she started,
you know, Alicia Witt's character killed her boyfriend, and because they killed the boyfriend using an urban legend, she's going to kill all of Alicia Witt's friends using urban legends. But then why did she kill everyone else?
What she was, well, like you talked about, she was trying to frame the whole thing on Robert Englund's character,
right?
For vengeance,
and then
for the Hall
Captain
Master.
Tryhard.
There was no need to kill Joshua Jackson. And see, that's another thing of the suspension of disbelief is like, okay, for one, how was she out where they were going to park? How did she
that was out in the woods
that fast? I mean, basically, it was
like
maybe like what, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of dialogue between Joshua Jackson and Alicia Witt, and then she turned him down, and then he got out to piss. So did she fucking run there with her fucking go fasters or what?
Her go fasters. I think.
And then also the suspension of disbelief to like overtake someone like Joshua Jackson and hang him from a tree. That I never got that, because once the reveal happened, I'm like, she's like this petite little human.
That's true. I would say
apparently
the fact of her being there doesn't bother me as much. I think in my mind, that was probably a pretty well-known hookup spot. Or
but okay, so she.
And I think she was going to get somebody, whether it was Joshua Jackson's character.
Yeah, but the interaction between the two happened on a whim. It wasn't
right.
planned.
And that's what I'm saying. I think she
either had to be sitting there waiting outside the dorm and see the interaction, and
no, I think she was waiting at the kill site. She was just in the woods and was going to get
just waiting for anybody. But then why would that even matter to Alicia Witt?
Well, it wouldn't, but it would have just put another urban legend kill
near
her. Right.
All right, I'll give you that one.
And that might be a stretch.
It's never explained how she made her voicemail on the phone.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a Scream thing right there, bro. Who's the second killer?
No, that's lazy writing. Really,
is there a writing for Marines? Was there a writing for Marines in CI? I don't remember.
That one just flew by you. Didn't even take it. No, but
okay, so
it never is. So she has the conversation with Michael Rosenbaum on the phone. Well, this is the one about the microwave.
Oh yeah, during the frat.
And it's a pretty extensive phone call. And she sounds like a straight up dude, and it's never like in Scream it was revealed. They tossed that voice thing back between Skeet Ulrich and, well, spoilers for Scream, Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard.
It's gonna be a Scream, baby.
You know, and they're like, "Oh, you like scary movies?" You know, but it's never explained in this one. That's I noticed that, and I was just kind of like, well, we'll just let it go, because apparently. Which also kind of, it's almost like they didn't plan on the ending that they got, because that's not explained, and the newspaper clipping is like they forgot totally about Alicia Witt's flashback where they were both at the scene of that accident.
She was talking to the cops. Yeah.
Well, yeah, then the newspaper clipping is like college student or high school student or whatever the fuck it said, killed by a gang, possible gang initiation.
Look, this was Jamie Blank's first movie, and you're just picking it apart, man.
he hasn't done anything to redeem anything since.
I will say this, but let's agree on this. There are some suspension of disbelief problems with her size and literally the physicality it would take to hoist Pacey into the tree.
Yeah.
But I liked that it was a woman killer because you don't get those often enough. And I like that I think she was playing the crazy card. I don't think she was crazy. Homicidal, yes. Psychotic, probably. But I don't think she was crazy, like, ooh, crazy, like.
No, and that's kind of one of the things I kind of thought was odd at the end, too, is that, so she's been playing alongside Alicia Witt all this time, and she's just a normal.
Like a normal girl.
I got a crush on Paul.
Yeah.
Girl, and then it's like the minute they reveal her, it's like her hair's all disarrayed and she's just wild-eyed and just this crazy psycho. Like, crazy people don't know they're crazy. So you wouldn't be able to just easily turn it on and off like that unless you're Ted Bundy.
She's wild-eyed and crazy, but we don't think she's. We know she's like serial killer-esque, obviously, but she's not crazy in the terms of like what we know to be crazy, right?
No, I mean, she's taking a weak concept and she's taking it to an extreme, which
right. So
yeah,
then Captain Fancy Pants shows up, and
yeah, who's Captain Fancy Pants? Paul
shows up, and tries to play along to get her to drop her guard, I think, which obviously backfires, and she's going to kill them all.
Yep.
When our favorite security guard shows up impersonating her favorite cop, Jackie Brown.
Yep.
And we have the typically overly noisy gun, right?
Yep. So, yeah, apparently she was going to shoot Alicia Witt, and when Alicia Witt picks up the gun, she's apparently, which is a normal movie trope, she apparently had to chamber another round because of reasons.
Yeah, because science.
It's science, yep.
Yeah. And what I liked about this at the end was
they shoot her.
The killer, falls out the window. Security guard's been shot and stabbed. Paul and Natalie, are unscathed, and they're like, all right.
She started trying to cut her kidney out. Remember that was the last urban legend that she was.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously you're gonna have a surgical scar there now for the rest of your life.
Like it was like a little cut that obviously wasn't even deep enough to do anything.
It was a little boo boo, so she's fine.
Yeah, she's
all things considered, she's fine, right? Like, and they're just like, all right, well, we'll call an ambulance, but you're good, right? And they just leave the security guard on the floor with a bullet in her. And bounce. Like, they get in the car and they're driving away.
Yeah.
On what looks to be a one-lane bridge.
Yep.
When
it looked to be that way, yeah.
When old Crazy Face pops back up and is going to try to, do the same kill twice, I guess.
Yeah, she's going to do the accident again where she got that at all.
Right. So, we butterfly effect ourselves back to the beginning of the movie, essentially.
Yeah, so they slam in, or Jared Leto slams into the bridge thing and projects her out the window, which that is the most fragile windshield in the world, because they had to be 35 miles an hour.
I really just want that clip with the $6 million man. She falls into the water,
And that didn't bother me as much. I'm like, okay, good, the bitch is dead. But then they cut to this deal where it's like, kids talking about this urban legend of her doings, and then she shows up and she's like, well, that's not how the story goes. This is how the story goes. And I'm like, so how many semesters have gone by to where you're healed enough to come back here? Aren't you like 40 by now?
Yeah.
People are gonna believe that you're in college soon. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's older people that go to college all the time.
Yeah, I was literally
usually not universities. It's usually like tech schools and shit like that. But
I went to university.
Oh, you went to university?
Yeah.
At what age?
I graduated in 2018, so that's 2 years ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Did you do like a Larry Crown thing?
I don't get the reference. But yeah, I got my accounting degree. So Master
I
Marines
remember that,
joking
yeah.
aside.
Was it the safest university in the country?
Decidedly not. When I was there, we had just had a
4
young
rapes,
woman that was
3 murders.
Yeah. I'm not even going to say where I went to school because
No, don't say where you went to school because they'll. So anyway, MJ G-Way, man of the hour. What would you recommend?
Yeah.
Would you
Casey.
recommend people to watch, just for shits and giggles entertainment, Urban Legend from 1998?
I would recommend have a nice stiff drink and get lost in the meta of what a 90s horror movie was. Is this the best horror?
Yep.
Yeah, 90s slasher. This is not the best movie you're ever going to watch. No.
Yeah.
But you and your friends can have a couple of drinks and enjoy the absurdity of it all, I think, would be my recommendation. What about you? What are your thoughts? What are your closing thoughts?
The acting besides some people, Jared Leto was good. Joshua Jackson, for the time he was in, it was good. Michael Rosenbaum's good. They weren't the best performances, but the 2 main girls in, Alicia Witt is no final girl at any means, but you do have 3 slasher characters and they're actors that are in this movie, which is a nice little cool little meta like callback to the old days, because slasher was dead up until Scream came out. There was no.
Yeah, it totally rejuvenated that genre.
When Wes Craven did Scream, that was rejuvenated the slasher film, and that's what Urban Legend's basically fallen on the coattails of. But it's entertaining. I was entertained. I wasn't wasn't bored at all during it. It was, it was what it is. You guys go into it just recognizing that it's a late '90s slasher film, Scream-esque kind of feel. Then, yeah, you're not going to be disappointed.
So let's give it a rating. Our people deserve a rating. How many crayons would you give it?
How many crayons?
Yeah.
It's going to plug up my sphincter.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that the nacho cheese in our MREs were made out of yellow crayons.
Yeah, it'd be melted down crayons. I'd say 3 out of 5 crayons.
Okay. Yeah, I 3 out of 5 is fair.
It's like I said, don't go expecting like cinematic history.
Right, and look, Siskel and Ebert, we are not, right?
This is not. Well, this movie ain't breaking any ground, is what I'm saying. It's not forging new territory. It's not.
Oh yeah.
100%.
And
but it is entertaining. It'll do what it's there to do. So.
It'll get her done.
Yeah, we'll get her done.
So yeah, that's Urban Legend. What movie we're gonna do next, Casey?
I actually thought about that, and I know it's probably not as fresh right now as of the recording of this. It's probably like a week or 2, but I think we should do the Rock.
The Rock.
I think that'd be a good one.
Stanley Ipkiss.
The passing of Sean Connery. I think we should.
Yeah. You do a pretty good Connery impersonation. Let's hit it.
Last time I swam the channel, I was your age, so I'm fucked either way.
I'm fucked either way.
Which is from The Rock. That was not from Finding Forrester, which some might think. He doesn't probably cuss a lot in Finding Forrester. That's Urban Legend from 1998. But
hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in.
This has been Jarhead Basement. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how much we suck at this.
Ooh, crazy. Ooh, crazy. Ooh, crazy.